Mockups, and this is a special, important mockup because I couldn't even imagine what you would do for Grimoire for Halloween Nowi. Our first special hero refine has to set the tone, and it has to be pretty damn good. So, Grimoire, unit can move to a space adjacent to an ally within 2 spaces, as it was before. Except, I think they took away the percentage.
HP condition, yep.
Yeah, the HP threshold. Oh, that's actually pretty solid. If units within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack speed, defense res +5 to unit, and neutralizes unit's penalties during combat. I think that's a bit...
It matches Eagle Egg.
Eagle Egg. I think it's a bit underwhelming. You want to know why? We have Mythic Leaf now. Sorry, Dual Leaf. He was already Mythic. Dual Leaf now. And it's within 3 spaces. I'm actually willing to... If they make it 3 spaces, it would really open things up. Now, she's just moving around the map really quickly and being able to use the extra stats really easily. I feel like if they did that, it would still make her one of the more interesting heroes to use. What do you think about that?
I mean, I see how it would be useful, but it would also be something that kind of detracts a little bit from being able to move adjacent to any ally within 2 spaces.
No, so I mean, even the adjacent part is 3 spaces.
Oh. That would be a lot of movement space.
But I think they have to do that, because otherwise she's not changing anything. She's not doing anything better than just simply having aerobatics or something, you know?
No, I get it, but it's also one of those things where it's like, oh, she's still a year 1 unit and gonna be available again come in October. Could it be better than this? Yeah, it could. Do I see it being a lot better than this? Do I see it being on the caliber of Duo Lift? No.
No, that's the thing. But that's why I wanted the extra movement in terms of both teleport and within space. Because the teleport part will keep her attack respawn being fully utilized, and her buffing ability being, which by the way, she was one of the first heroes with honed flyers. Before her, I believe, was just Hinoka, and that was it. So it was really important for her to be able to move around really quickly. I feel like if they just really accentuate that part, she would still be very unique, because there would be no other hero who's teleporting 3 spaces. And it wouldn't be broken, considering her base stats aren't even great. 34 attack base, 34 HP base, 32 speed, 20 defense, and 27 res. It's not crazy. I think it would be fair. I think something to use within space as an ally makes the most amount of sense. So for Shamil, I think this is a pretty accurate guess. I even thought they might be able to give her LOL or something like that as well. But we'll see.
Maybe.
Because she needs the help, that's the thing. In terms of flying mages nowadays...
She needs a lot of help to be relevant.
Yeah, because Summer Loot is so stupidly good, for example. And in terms of flying mages in general, you have to really be really good nowadays in order to be used. For example, like Flying Nino just got a refine, and she's really good now too. I think they're really trying to like buff not just flying mages, but flyer units in general nowadays.
We'll see how this goes.
Okay. Then we'll move on. Next is Lyon at 41 HP, 50 attack, 21 speed, 26 defense, and 32 res. Base attack is 30... Oh, no, it's with his weapon. It's 33, I think, something like that, or 34. Alright, Naglfar. Effective against cav foes. Oh, if you throw in effectiveness into it, as well as being weapon triangle advantage against color foes, so effective against both colorless heroes and cav foes, that could really accentuate his use. And because we're going up against so many cav lines nowadays, with like Lins and whatnot, that could help a lot, actually. Wait, doesn't color advantage and effective in calves, doesn't that stack? It's not additive, but it comes together, doesn't it?
It ends up coming out to effectively a 1.8 multiplier, not counting the potential for TA.
Yep. That would actually make him usable again, because he would just smash through colorless heroes. Okay. Inflicts weapon trial disadvantage on colorless foes during combat, aka effective. Well, that's what they do for effective against colorless heroes through the Raven Tomes. During unit's first combat against a bow, dagger, staff, magic, or staff foe in player phase and enemy phase, reduces damage from foe's first attack by 75% during combat. That would make him a solid specialist. That's all in being a specialist, but I think that's fair.
I mean, it's also something that's similar but not quite the same as his Fallen counterpart, where it's a stronger effect, but it's only once per phase. So it's got a bit of a trade-off on that.
Yep.
But also it also gives him the effective against cavalry foes. And Shamil noted that that was actually meant to be a nod to the alts for Ephraim and Erica that are all cavalry, because this would give Lyon an edge against them.
Oh, I like that. I really like that. Oh, wow. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The other thing we thought, chat, was perhaps Lyon would just simply get Blood Tome, but they would have announced it. So maybe they're trying to use something similar to Blood Tome. For those who don't remember, Blood Tome grants attack +3 if foe uses bow, dagger, magic, or staff, reduces damage from AoE specials by 8%, and reduces damage from foes' attacks by 50%. And if foe is also colorless, grants weapon triangle advantage to unit and inflicts weapon triangle disadvantage on foe. Often enough, we run TA on him just to make him even better against blues and colorless heroes, and also disrupt so he can counterattack even if they're, staff heroes. I don't actually use Mystic Boost. I don't know how this ended on him, but Rouse Attack Res. He comes with bonus solar. Yeah, he's a solid hero. 40 HP, mine's plus attack. 60 attack, 16 speed, 32 defense, 32 res. Mine's minus res. But you get the idea. It's a solid hero. If you can make Lyon comparable to Fallen Lyon, even to a slight degree, that's going to make him a lot more useful. Because I use Lyon like every season nowadays against cav lines. And if he ends up being our cav line counter base Lyon, then I'd be really happy about that.
We're seeing more than just colorless pop up, more than just blues as well. Because Bernadetta means that, hey, we're seeing greens.
Fallen Lyon being green is really, really good. But a red Lyon nowadays would make a lot of sense too. As you mentioned, Bernadetta, Winter Bernadetta is one of the most common cav line heroes now, all of a sudden. It shouldn't surprise anybody, but she's so common. And she enables such crazy, ridiculous teams nowadays, because she drops 1 damage on the team, and that can enable healers to initiate the battle instead. But yeah, crazy good hero.
Like with Rescue, or what's the other one? Return.
Yep. Both would move an ally closer to enemies. So yeah, that's why Lyon getting a refine is actually huge. And a lot of people in Gen 1 have a Lyon, because back in the day, you fought a lot of Brave Lins, which is frustrating because there weren't a lot of counters to her. So Lyon helped a lot. Anyways, really happy for Lyon. I think that's a fitting refine. If it is in fact effective in CAFOs, which would make a lot of sense, it would really make him a hero well recommended for the current meta.
Yeah, because cavalry is extremely prominent in the current meta that we've got.
All right, this is the big one. Ayra with Ayra's Blade. When I mentioned that Ayra was one of the scariest units in Gen 1, some people didn't understand me because they're like, what are you talking about, Nims? I beat Ayras all the time. I don't even see Ayras. Huh?
Like, I fully understand what you mean on that. I didn't start playing until Fallen Marito was a thing, but just looking at Ayra's kit and then comparing that, it actually holds up for early book 3, late book 2. And this is a book 1 unit.
Yep. The thing is, one of my videos that did the best was when my Fjorm fought an Ayra, and Fjorm died. Yep. People were like, wait, what? How does that happen? Because Regular Astra is so damaging, and Ayra was really min-maxed well to deal damage. And look at 31 defense. She even had a good amount of bulk for physical battles. So she was really scary once upon a time, chat. And perhaps she will be very scary now, too. Ayra's Blade grants speed +3 if unit initiates combat, or if unit speed is over foe speed. Grants special cooldown charge +1 to unit, and inflicts special cooldown charge -1 on foe per attack. Is that not just special fighter?
It's
conditional.
It's actually... I also see this as kind of a reference to how Blazing Durandal's Refine works, because that changes it from Heavy Blade to Special Fighter. This changes it from just Flashing Blade to Special Fighter on initiation, with a secondary activation condition on top of it, which is honestly silly.
I think it would be fair, because you have to give her the respect she's due. As one of the most powerful and legendary units, she's also controversial, because if you guys forgot, when she first launched, she was on her own banner.
And color shared.
And color. It was so bad. IS knew what they were doing.
No, Ayra's going to be color sharing again.
Oh yeah, in this
refine.
Wait. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, here's the thing. People think Nowi might not actually show up as a refined. Sorry, on the banner because she's a special hero.
Extremely unlikely that Nowi doesn't show up on the new power banner.
I agree with you. That's what I think as well. But some people do have a bit of doubt. But yeah, she will be color sharing with Howie Nowi. Anyways, that's extremely good, but additionally, at start combat, foes HP is over 50%, easy, grants attack speed, defense, res +5 to unit during combat, and if unit initiates combat, unit attacks twice. Okay, if you just stopped there, the first part I thought it would be very fair, but the second part would just be an instant Regno Astra. That would be absurd.
And let's not forget the potential for quadding, meaning that there would be 2 retaliations for Regno Astra in one combat.
Yep. It would be absurd, chats, and you wouldn't be wrong to think that, but this seems kind of similar to another red hero, doesn't it? Kind of.
A little bit.
Okay. Well, I was gonna see if you can remember who. All right, real quick.
Brave Celica is what I was thinking.
Exactly. So that's the reason why I bring this up. It seems crazy, but it's not entirely crazy. Royal Sword grants speed +3, same thing as Iris Blade. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants special cooldown charge +1 to unit per attack. There isn't the guard portion, but isn't that very similar to the Iris Blade's first portion anyways? It is. That's the point. At start combat, if unit's HP is over 25% versus if foe's HP is over 50%, grants attack speed, defense, res +5 during combat, and also after combat grants special cooldown count -1 and restores 7 HP. And because she comes with double Lyon, she quads. It's the same idea, chat.
Oh.
So
if Shamil's prediction is accurate, that would actually launch Ayra to being able to consistently keep up with the damage output that Celica has. And Brave Celica right now has the highest consistent damage output of any infantry sword.
Yep. That's why when I talk about Iris Blade and you guys freaked out about being too good, it's not too good. We already have a hero that does essentially the same thing. And you gotta remember, Celica has better BST than Ayra. She has more attack, more speed, more just about everything, to be honest. Except for HP.
Ayra has 162.
Wait, she does?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I'm gonna double check, because she's Gen 1.
She's a book 1, but she's got Gen 2 stats. Oh, Ayra has 163.
Whoa. Alright, maybe I'm wrong here.
Yep, Ayra's base stats 41, 33, 37, 31, 21.
Okay, let's do a quick comparison then.
Alright, let me get another tab open.
So, I actually have it. They both, okay. Brave Celica has 38 HP versus Ayra's 41. Brave Celica and Ayra both have 33 attack. Ayra has 37 speed versus Brave Celica's 39. Brave Celica has 29 defense versus Ayra's 31. And Celica has 24 res versus Ayra's 21. So their defense and res is slightly switched around, but Celica has a bit less HP and a bit more speed. Interesting. They're close. They're close, actually.
Yep, they have the same BST. Celica trades a little bit of attack and HP for a bit more speed and res.
Okay, so despite the fact she's
2 points of defense as well, so her defenses are slightly more balanced.
Right. So despite the fact that Ayra is a Gen 1 hero, wow, she's actually keeping up with a Gen 2 Brave hero. Wow.
Yep, because there was no jump in the stats until the Adrift banner, actually.
Okay, fair enough.
And even then, those are still trainee status, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
So that jump didn't actually happen until...
The entire point, though, is somehow she still keeps up. And with this refine or something similar, she will absolutely keep up in the current meta. And it wouldn't even be unfair, in my opinion. It's really good, of course, but it wouldn't be unfair since we have something similar already. Moving on, Ishtar, Mjolnir Refine. Might 14, range 2, acceleration special trigger cooldown count -1, as it was before. If unit initiates combat, grants speed +6, which is Darting Blow as it was before, but additionally, boosts damage by 20% of unit speed during combat. Ooh.
Hey, we just got that with Nino.
I do think that's fair, again, because Ishtar's another one of the heroes that isn't being used, which, by the way, do you guys know that she was once upon a time one of the most common blue mages, infantry blue mages? Which isn't to say it was extremely common, because that's not the case at all. But in terms of infantry blue mages, she was once upon a time one of the most common ones to see. Alright, so I have Ishtar as well. Meunier, see? Speed +6, special trigger cooldown count -1. once upon a time, this was really good. Having Darting Blow and Slaying effect in a weapon back in the day was really, really good. It's not crazy anymore, but it was. And because she came with Swiss Barrel and came with, for some reason, Advantage, but it was just like Reinhardt, so I kind of get it. And then having Odd Attack Wave, it wasn't a bad combination at all. Pawn Initiation, 10 extra speed, which for us back in the day was crazy. And the 4 extra attack. And then, of course, a fast special following up on it. A deadly hero for sure. Her stats were pretty well put out there as well. Would she boost damage by? Boost damage by... Wait. It would be true, wouldn't it? Isn't Nino's damage true?
When it comes to damage calculation, anything that is not a special is true damage.
Right. So
that is how those calculations work out.
Yep. So the reason why I'm bringing out why this isn't unfair or anything is because she has a 34 attack base, which isn't crazy, and 36 speed base. So with the new refine, it does really bounce her out and allows her to compete with like more recent blue mages. So more recent blue mages, especially Ileana, I would say, is a big competitor, and she's a 4-star hero. So that's what I would say.
No.
Okay, additionally, at start combat, if foe's HP is over 75%, grants attack speed +4 to unit during combat, and also if unit initiates combat, you can make a fall attack before foe can counterattack. Okay, there. So essentially like another Lyon then.
Kind of like a blue Lyon, but dependent on foe's HP instead of her own being above 25%.
Which would make her very, very good, but I think it is fair considering the fact that, I mean, it's essentially what Lyon has, so why would that not be fair?
Granted, Lyon boosts his own attack and speed effectively by 8 with a refine, and also neutralizes penalties to himself, neutralizes bonus to his opponents on those stats.
Yep.
Whereas we're not seeing Ishtar with any of that, so we'll see. But considering that Lyon is using Forsetti, which is a divine weapon in genealogy, and, well, no, Mjolnir is a divine weapon in genealogy too, isn't it?
I think. That's why I was like questioning you there.
I can actually see this one being better than what we've got from Shamil.
Yeah.
When the actual update drops Wednesday night.
Which, by the way, chat, as much as I still remember our first mock-up review, some people were saying like, "Oh, this is all too good. It's crazy." And then some heroes actually got better refined, like Nina and Reinhardt, for example, than what Shamil predicted. So, yeah, I think this is fair. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if it's better, but if it's something close to this, I think it's absolutely fair, and it would put Ishtar back into a usable hero category.
Yep.
Okay.
As things are for Ishtar, she's not bad, but she is overshadowed.
Yep. She is overshadowed. I really can't suggest her being used over lots of blue mages nowadays.
Yep.
Let me bring some up. Obviously, I already brought Ileana. Ileana, because she's free to play and you can make her +10, and because she can go become either trying to go for a one-shot kill, or having the speed to double. She's really, really good. Of course, Lyn also has gone in refine, and while her refine isn't as good, she's now resplendent. There are heroes like Loot, for example, who are really interesting, right? Because of warding Tome's abilities after its refines. Guinevere is also a top tier blue mage, but aside from that, we already know about the top tiers like Brunya, for example, in terms of being a free-to-play hero. And of course, Micaiah now has an auto double. Yep.
I was gonna say nobody really sees Guinevere though, because that banner was just one of the least popular banners. Just looking at sales numbers, actually,
it was. I don't doubt that at all. It came at an awkward time, even if she's so interesting as a unit.
No, I mean Guinevere isn't bad. She's an exceptionally strong mage, but she could have had much better timing.
Yep. Of course, Lundra Julia is the queen of it all, I would say, and Ophelia is still respectable. With that said, we even have like Lord Gen heroes like Delthea. After Resplendent, it helps a lot. Her refine isn't crazy, but again, Resplendent being really helpful. So there are quite a few good blue mages when it comes to infantry. I was only talking about infantry, but yeah, there are a lot. So it wouldn't surprise me if they did something like this to actually make her visible again, because I really haven't seen her in like years.
Yeah. I just realized we could possibly see a refine for Fallen Delthea in about a year or so. Year and a half, maybe.
Yep, that would be interesting.
That's gonna be wild.
Oh, by the way, I expect to be really good because of Tail 2. Aren't they, like, related to each other?
I think Tail 2 is Ishtar's aunt.
Okay, whatever it is, I haven't played the game. Alright, because Tomathoron is at start turn, if units HP is over 75%, units attack trigger special, grants special equivalent count -1, aka Wrath, and deals +10 damage with special triggers if unit initiates combat, grants speed +6 during combat. In other words, it was already, like, very similar to Mjolnir. So I expect this to be better, considering Tail 2's Refine was like a year ago or something. Okay, La Rochelle with 33 HP, 47 attack, 31 speed, 20 defense, and 31 res, -3 defense because she has defense in Ivaldi. Ivaldi grants defense +3 at start combat if foe's HP is over 75%, grants attack speed +4 to unit during combat. Way better! Before it was 100% HP on your foe, and I believe it was 3 attack and 3 speed, or is it 4? I forget now. Yeah, so slight improvement. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack speed +5 to unit during combat, restores 7 HP to unit and ally within 2 spaces, and to allies of unit after combat. Isn't this like, whose tome is that?
The last portion of that is meant to be a reference to the fact that in Sacred Stones, La Rochelle is a healer.
Ah, that's a good one. Shamil, how are you so good at this? You little, I'm just so surprised. You baffle me. Guys, one of the reasons why I want to do these videos in the first place is because Shamil just makes these stupid things and then he puts it up in the Nimdom and there's like 5 to like 30 people who at most look at it, you know? It's like, that's nothing. You work so hard on this and you don't like show it off to more people. So that's why I want to make the videos for him. But yeah, it's a good reference. I like it.
Yeah, Evan is also pointing out that it's basically the same as Jenny's Refine, but attack and speed instead of attack and res.
Yeah, that's why it felt so familiar. But that makes sense. It also, yeah, that makes sense. I like it. But in reality, that's an extra 9 attack and 9 speed, and this restoring a 7 HP on herself, along with using a renewal in her base kit. It actually is pretty concise. You could use everything together really well. It also allows you to use a like attack speed push on her happily, I would say.
Yeah, that would be a very valid option. That's a lot of attack and speed. But at that point, you also got to make sure that you're very careful about actually managing damage and damage coming in. Oh, excuse me.
All right, but of all the refines, I think this is the most fair one because it's nothing insane. A lot of attack, a lot of speed for a Gen 1.
4-star available unit.
Sure, but it's a Gen 1 hero, and her biggest competition.
Actually, Gen 2.
Oh, she is.
La Rochelle is book 2.
Oh wait, but this gen doesn't matter, does it? Does she actually have a BST bump?
I don't think so.
Right. So okay. So so really quick, despite the fact that she is Gen 2, then the reason I point this out is because I don't remember her having like extra stats. So it was an extra gen, but it didn't really make a difference. The reason why I bring this up with La Rochelle is because there's a huge BST difference between Valentine Veronica and La Rochelle. That's why I think it's fair. La Rochelle has 145 BST, whereas Valentine Veronica has 157. 12 BST difference. That's huge. So by adding 9 extra attack and 9 extra speed, it's still fair because look at that HP, 33. Look at that defense, 20. Any physical hero will still just one-shot her. You know, it's still scary. You know, the crazy thing is her tome is adding 3 defense. If she didn't even have the 3 defense in her tome, she just gets one-shot by everything. It can, like, hit her. So real quick, La Rochelle has 33 HP at base versus Valentine Veronica's 40 HP. La Rochelle has 33 attack versus Valentine Veronica's 36. She has 31 speed versus Valentine Veronica's 38. They both have really mediocre defense, 17 on La Rochelle and 21 on Veronica. And Veronica has 31 res versus, La Rochelle has 31 res versus Veronica's 22 res. So that huge BSC difference did show up in attack and speed, but also showed up in overall bulk as well. In particular, 7 extra HP to Valentine Veronica helps a lot. Yeah, in terms of attack and speed, Valentine Veronica has 3 more attack and 7 more speed. So if you look at additional 9 attack and 9 speed and think it's a bit unfair, it's not. It really balances things out. Okay, that's a fair one. We might actually see Ivaldi and Laura Shell show up, which is a shame because I thought she would be very popular when she first released, considering how popular Reinhardt was. And the reality was everyone just kept using Reinhardt. Typical. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Well, Reinhardt also had significantly more offensive power, so we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, but I was really hoping she would open people's views to other Cav blue mages. Like Owen. Anyways, let me know, chat, which one was your favorite refine. Of all the refines, I think, of course, Ayra's is the best one here, and I expect her to be the best one in the actual one. But the one I'm most excited about is Lyon. I guess Nowi as well. Between Lyon and Nowi, because I like Lyon, and I think he's going to be very useful going forward in the meta. Whereas Nowi, or as a first special heroes refine with space adjacent base, I'm wondering what it's going to be. But yeah, everything seems fair to me. Chat, let me know. Leave a like, subscribe, follow if you really enjoyed. But yeah, this is a really fair group. I'm interested in seeing what happens. It's